ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this meeting of licensing on the 24th of May. My name is Councillor Jeanette Stilts and I am chairing this meeting. Scrolling down, trying to find things. Have we got any apologies for absence, Berna?
Yes, Chairman, we received apologies for absence from Councillor Messenger. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Stevens has come today because she felt she was, or she thought she was invited, so she is standing in for Councillor Bassinger.
Thank you, Chairman.
Disclosure of interest. To disclose the existence and nature of any disclosed pecuniary interest, other pecuniary interest, non-pecuniary interest, interests relating to items of business on the agenda having regard to paragraph 6 to 8 of the Code of Conduct for Members. Members are reminded that they are also required to disclose any such interests as soon as they become aware should the need arise throughout the meeting. Members, do you have any interest to declare?
No.
Thank you. We have the applicant here. If you would like to introduce yourself to the committee.
Yeah, hello there. My name is Tom Gowans. I'm a representative and the event manager in the Park Festivals.
Okay, thank you. And would you like to introduce yourselves as well?
My name is James Young. I'm working with Maldon District Council and the promoters to ensure this year's events run seamlessly and we learn from previous events.
Thank you, Mr. Young.
My name is Greg Oliver. We're the principal noise contractors for the event. What company is Sonic Live Acoustics.
Thank you. Officers, would you like to introduce yourselves?
Hello there. My name is Daniel Winter. I am a licensing officer for Chelmsford City Council as well as Maldon District Council. Thank you.
Thank you.
Simon Quelch, and I give legal advice to the committee.
Thank you very much. Moving on to agenda item 5, which is the application for a full variation to a premises licence in the Promenade Park. I will call on the applicant to make a declaration on what you want to do and that.
Okay, thank you. We wanted to vary the licence to allow opening hours between 2 and 6. Currently it starts at 6. The actual event that this is for, we plan on opening the doors at 4, playing recorded music for 1 hour till 5, and then having the first act on performing between 5 and 6. So essentially for this particular event, it's just opening 2 hours early. The reason we want to do this is to stagger our ingress so that we're going to have multiple lanes at the entrance, and we don't want queues forming after what happened in Manchester.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Winters, would you like to present your report?
Thank you, Chair. Good morning. Members are asked to consider an application for a full variation to a premises licence under Section 17 of the Licensing Act 2003, having regard to representations received and the requirement to promote the 4 licensing objectives as detailed below. The Licensing Subcommittee determines the application for a full variation of a premises licence, taking into consideration the options that are available and detailed in paragraph 4.1 below. Promenade Park is a public open space owned and managed by Maldon District Council. The application has been received from Mr. Stephen Cochrane, who is the current licence holder of In the Park. In the Park premises licence has been held by Mr. Cochrane since 15th of June 2021, which authorises the sale and supply of alcohol, regulated entertainment and performance of dance. I've detailed the hours and the days below. Regulated entertainment and performance of dance are licensed until 23:30, that's 11:30 p.m. on Saturdays, and until 23:30, it's 10:30 p.m. on Sundays. The complete application was received on the 31st of March 2022. The proposed variation is to extend the licensable hours, bringing forward the start time of the event from 1800 to 1400 on each day. As part of the licensing process, a complete copy of the application was sent out to responsible authorities for consultation. Closing date for consultation was the 27th of April 22. The application has been properly made in accordance with the Licensing Act 2003 and all procedures correctly followed. The complete application form is attached as Appendix A. The application was correctly advertised in a locally circulated newspaper within the timescale allocated under legislation and on Malden District Council's website. Members are asked to note that as this report is published publicly, personal details has been redacted from some documents. However, the licensing authority and the applicant have received complete copies of all documents. During the course of the consultation period, a representation was received from a member of the public which referred to the prevention of public nuisance as listed in section 1.1. A copy of the representation is attached to this report as Appendix B. A plan indicating the location of the premises is attached as Appendix C. To conclude, members are advised that they have the following options when determining this application. They can either grant the application on terms and conditions applied for, grant the application on terms and conditions applied for modified to such an extent as considered appropriate to promote the licensing objectives, or they can refuse the application in whole or in part. Members are reminded that the applicant and or any person making representation in relation to this matter may appeal the decision of the council to the Magistrates' Court. And that concludes my report. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Winters.
Chair, could I just, I'm just looking at the application now. Sorry for-
That's Can you turn your mic
Yeah,
on?
thank
Mr.
you.
Winterston is off.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I just looking at Appendix A, and maybe Mr. Winter can correct me. He knows much more about the procedure than I do. But this is an application to vary a premises license. Now that's like a section 34 application of variation, isn't it? But this is an application you're saying under section 17, which is for a new premises license.
Yeah, no, I do apologise. That's correct. It's actually under section 34, so that's a typo.
Now, tell me if I'm wrong, but can you actually make an application for variation under section 34 when you're changing the hours of starting?
I'd have to do my research on section 34, Simon.
Because I think, and I'm just looking at this now, when I looked at it just a little bit before, I was looking at the application, and you just go to, I'm just going to the application now, application details, a page, if you go to page, Chair, if you go to page 10 of appendix of the section 2 of 18, this application cannot be used to vary license so as extend the period for which the license has effect or to vary substantially the premises. So it's not a problem with the premises because that's the same, but it's extending the period by the hours. If you wish to make that type of change to the premises license, you should make a new premises license application under section 17, which is the where you actually applying for a new license, not actually a variation. So my understanding, I'm not sure, I think it is section 35 or section 36 of the Act, is that you can't apply, you can apply for a variation, but it can't significantly change the premises, which this isn't, but nor can you change the hours. Is that right or wrong?
No.
You don't
No,
you think
I'm
I'm wrong?
confident that is not accurate.
Okay.
The full variation application allows the applicant or license to be changed. In effect, it's a new license, but it comes under a different act.
Right.
Because the license is still present. It's still it's a live license.
Right.
And a license holder has the ability to amend that license, add in licensable activities, the extension of hours, or the extension of the licensable area.
Right.
Under a full variation.
Right.
Perhaps you're referring to a minor variation.
Yeah,
and not a full variation. A minor variation doesn't require, you can't extend hours,
No.
or licensable area on a minor variation, but full variation, also known as a major variation, you can.
Can I just wonder, Chair, is it worthwhile, can I just have a chat with Mr Winter about this so this is procedurally correct? Could you adjourn for 10 minutes?
I can adjourn this meeting for 10 minutes.
Just so
So-
we get the law right, and it may be Mr Winter is correct, but I just want to be sure that you've got a valid application in front of you.
Thank you.
And it just occurred to me looking at it.
Ladies and gentlemen, members of the committee, are you happy for this to be adjourned for 10 minutes?
Okay.
Yeah. So we will adjourn this meeting for 10 minutes to allow Mr Quelch and Mr Winters to confer.
I'm sure Mr Winter is right. I mean, he's dealing with the area regularly, so I'm sure he's right. But I just want to make sure you've got a valid
It's
application in
the wrong
front of
act
you.
I've quoted, 6 to 17 is a new application. I want
Do you
to check
still
to
want-
make sure it's the right act.
And discuss this.
Yeah. So we'll go outside, shall we?
Sorry.
We'll go outside.
I'm going to take the YouTube stream off for this 10 minutes.
Okay, thank you.
Can you bear with me to confirm when it's off, please?
online yet, Berna?
Yes, we're ready, Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to this meeting of this licensing variation under section 34. I will pass over to the legal officer just to give some clarification on this, and that we've sought clarification on some various points.
Thank you very much, Chair. I just wanted to. Thank you very much, Chair. Yeah, the reason for your adjournment, and I'm very grateful for it, is so that I could just confirm with the licensing officer that actually all the procedures had been followed and the right sections were being used for this application. And having had extensive conversations with him and with other licensing officers, I'm satisfied that you can actually, everything is in order and you can proceed with this application as an application under section 34 as what's called a full application for variation of the premises licence.
Thank you, Mr. Quelch. The members of the public that are listening and members that are in this committee, we are going to resume this meeting at 11:16. Mr. Winters, would you like to just give a quick overview of what we are discussing?
Well, currently there is a premises licence held by Malden District Council. We are here to discuss an application for a full variation of the application and the fact that we've had a representation received from a member of the public. And that is for the members to discuss and make a decision whether to grant the licence or to grant it, or to modify the licence, or to refuse the application in full or in part.
Thank you, Mr. Winters. I will call upon the applicant. Do you wish to say anything at this moment in time?
No, I don't think I've got anything else to add other than what I said earlier.
Okay, thank you. Right, members of the committee, would you like to ask any questions?
Yes, I do have one question, please. Thank you, Chair. Yes, just one quick question. I think it's become apparent through our
Can you introduce
our conversations outside. Chair's just reminded me to introduce myself. It's Councillor Emma Stevens. I just want to be very clear that this is an application to extend the hours on one day only, the Friday, to bring the start time forward from 6 p.m. to 2 p.m. and all other times to remain the same. Is that correct, please?
No, that isn't quite correct. So on this particular event where doors open at 6, we'd like to bring the doors to open at 4, so 2 hours earlier than the current 6 o'clock start time. The reason for that is so that we can manage our queues and we have a staggered ingress into the premises, so multiple lanes for searching and scanning. And then longer trading period so that we don't have large queues outside, so that if there's any terrorist attack, the impact will be lesser because we haven't got those large queues outside. So we're doing that after what's happened in Manchester recently. The reason we're applying for on the licence for the hours to be between 2 and 6 is purely for the costs incurred by varying your licence. So we'd like to have the option, if we were going to have an earlier event sometime in the future, obviously that would have to be agreed and signed off by the local authority, but there wouldn't be any licence restrictions going against us. So it's just thinking of the future and looking at the costs that are incurred. That's why we're going for the 4 hours.
And I think what Councillor Stevens was asking, that is only for the Friday, because according to our paperwork, you've got the Saturday and Sunday starting at 12.
Yeah, that is correct. That is only for the Friday.
Okay, lovely, thank you. Any other questions? No?
No, thank you.
No? Are you all happy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for the long delay, and thank you for coming today. There doesn't seem to be any other questions from the panel. We will now close the meeting. We will go into private session. You will be notified of our decision within 5 working days from today. So thank you very much for coming, and I close this meeting at 11:20.
Do you do you want to give the applicant the opportunity of waiting to hear your result, or would you prefer that they just go?
Yeah, normally they go, and then we will let you know. Okay, so thank you very much. Thank you, Berna.
Thank you, Chairman.